This story comes from a man who was traveling alone for work. He had been on the road for most of the day, driving through long stretches of empty highway with nothing but gas stations and dark fields on either side. By the time he decided to stop, he was already late, close to 11 p.m. He didn't have a reservation. He just pulled off the interstate and took the first motel he could find. It sat a little ways back from the road, with a flickering neon sign that read vacancy. A few of the letters were burned out. The parking lot was mostly empty. Only a couple of cars were scattered near the far end of the building.
The place looked old. Not abandoned, but close to it. Still, he was exhausted, and the price was cheap, so he decided to take it. When he walked into the front office, the air felt stale, like it hadn't been properly ventilated in years. A small television behind the counter played quietly, some late-night show with the volume turned almost all the way down. The clerk stood behind the desk, barely looking up. He looked tired, like he'd been working there too long, or maybe like he hadn't slept at all. When the man asked for a room, the clerk didn't say much. He just reached behind him, grabbed a key card, and slid it across the counter. Room 319. No smile, no small talk, not even eye contact. Just a quiet, almost distracted, third floor. The man took the key and headed outside. The staircase creaked under his weight as he made his way up. The third floor hallway was dimly lit. Only every other light seemed to be working. The carpet looked worn down, almost damp in places. There was a faint smell in the air, something stale, something chemical. When he found room 319, he paused for a moment before going in. For no real reason, just a feeling. Then he slid the key card and stepped inside. The smell hit him immediately. Old cigarettes mixed with strong cleaning chemicals, like someone had tried too hard to cover something up and failed. He turned on the lights. The room looked normal enough. Outdated furniture, a small TV mounted on the wall, a chair in the corner that looked like it hadn't been used in years. But something about it felt off. He checked the bathroom. Everything seemed fine. No obvious issues, so he told himself he was just tired. He dropped his bag, took a quick shower, and got into bed. The mattress sagged in the middle. The sheets felt rough, but none of that mattered. He was too exhausted to care. He turned off the lights, and within minutes, he was asleep. Around 3:09 a.m., he woke up suddenly. No gradual waking, no drifting in and out, just awake. His eyes snapped open in the dark. At first, he didn't know why. Then, he heard it. 3 slow knocks coming from his door. Knock. 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 He stayed still, listening, waiting. He assumed it was the front desk, or maybe someone who had the wrong room. So he ignored it and closed his eyes again, trying to go back to sleep. But something about the knocks bothered him. They were too slow, too deliberate, not the way someone normally knocks. A few minutes passed. Then it happened again. This time, louder. Knock. Knock. Knock.
He sat up in bed, now fully awake. Annoyed, but also slightly uneasy, he got up and walked over to the door. The carpet felt cold under his feet. He leaned in and looked through the peephole. Nothing, just the empty hallway. He waited a few seconds longer. Still nothing. After a moment, he unlocked the door and opened it. The hallway stretched out in both directions, completely empty. No footsteps, no doors closing, no sound at all. Just that same dim lighting and that faint, stale smell. He stepped out for a second, looked around, then went back inside. Locked the door, and this time, he made sure it was secure. He had just sat back down on the bed when the phone on the nightstand started ringing. The sound was sudden, sharp, too loud for the quiet room. He stared at it for a second before picking it up. Hello? There was a pause. Then, a woman's voice. Soft, barely above a whisper. Are you awake? He froze. There was something wrong with the way she said it. Too calm, too close. He didn't respond. He just hung up immediately. A few seconds passed. Then the phone rang again. This time, he hesitated, but he picked it up anyway. Slowly. The same voice, quieter now. I can see you. He slammed the phone down. His heart was racing. Without thinking, he reached over and unplugged the phone from the wall. He didn't want to hear it again. Didn't want to give it the chance. After that, he couldn't sleep. Not even close. He turned on every light in the room. The main light, the bathroom light, even the lamp by the bed. He sat there, upright, staring at the door, listening, waiting. Every small sound made him tense. The hum of the lights, the faint creak of the building, even his own breathing sounded too loud. Time moved slowly, painfully slowly. At exactly 4:17 a.m., he heard it. The sound of a key card being swiped. Right outside his door, a quiet electronic beep. Then, the door handle started to turn, slowly, deliberately. He jumped up immediately and rushed to the door, pressing his full weight against it. The handle pushed harder. Whoever was on the other side was trying to get in. They didn't say anything. No voice, no explanation. Just pressure against the door. For a few long seconds it pushed. Then suddenly, it stopped. The handle went still. Silence again. He didn't move. Not for a long time. He stayed there, holding the door shut, listening for anything. But nothing came. Eventually, morning light started to creep through the curtains, and that's when he finally stepped away. As soon as the front desk opened, he went down immediately. He told the clerk everything. The knocking, the phone calls, the voice, the door. All of it. He demanded to be moved to another room. The clerk just stared at him, confused. Then he said, "Sir, room 319 has been empty for 6 months." The man shook his head. "No, I stayed there last night." The clerk slowly replied, "No one stays in that room anymore." There was a pause. Then he added quietly, "Not since the last guest died there." The man felt his stomach drop. He asked what happened. The clerk hesitated, then finally said, "A woman. She was found in the bathroom." The man didn't say another word. He just turned, walked out, and checked out immediately. He never went back, never stayed in that motel again. But even now, whenever he travels for work and stays in a hotel, he sometimes wakes up suddenly at exactly 3:09 a.m. And for just a moment, before he fully opens his eyes, he swears he can smell it. Old cigarettes and strong cleaning chemicals. The train moves on. And some guests never really check out. Next stop, unknown.